Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to London Heathrow. We've got the new iniBuilds version 2 scenery for London Heathrow Airport here on Microsoft Flight Simulator. 20,000 subscribers now, so thank you to each and every one of you for choosing to hit the shiny red button and follow the channel and be part of all these live streams. It's really appreciated, whether you're members or subscribers. Like to pop in every now and again. All of you guys are appreciated, so thank you very much. Big milestone. And we're planning a group flight and a big giveaway for that too. Over the next few minutes, we're going to be exploring the new iniBuilds London Heathrow update. It includes a really nice, fairly realistic terminal interior, massive optimizations on the performance of the airport too, and all round a much nicer bit of detail as well. So very good work from the team. Make sure you hit like and subscribe down below if you've not done so already. And on the other side of today, as I'm sure because you've probably read the title for today's live stream, we are off to Naples, Italy, and we're going to be experiencing / enjoying the brand new RDPresets Naples International Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is releasing on the 20th of July, so not long to wait at all. Loads of members in the live chat. Hello to all of you guys. We've got Doctor on board. Hello. Gav, Mikhail, John, Badger, Makepeace. Hello, folks. Thank you very much for your kind comments as well. As John's saying there in the chat already, frames per second is a lot better with the upgrade for iniBuilds Heathrow. Let's punch through. That is arrivals. So they've not really done anything with the arrivals level. Fact. Okay, well there's something we can kind of be critical of already. So the arrivals level isn't modelled, but actually it's a different level to the walkway in. So that's a little issue that we've just noticed straight away. But otherwise, look at that glass texture, folks. How good is that? Looking through into all the different zones of the terminal, very good indeed. And we can zip through past North Security. Of course, not modelled in, for obvious reasons. Jim, hello, buddy, welcome. Make sure you link your YouTube account into your Discord server, into our Discord server, Jim, and you'll get added into the Club Lounge for being a member. AR Simulations, welcome. What do you guys think so far? We're having a good look around. Well, that's not a Cafe Nero. That's a Starbucks. Not sure why that's there. That seems to have been maybe a little bit of time saving done there, and there's a Pret a Manger down here too, which isn't there. So they put the wrong coffee shop in, but I guess it doesn't really matter much. Real life, there's a Wagamama's there that we're looking at the moment.
208 is 5 mile final, runway 27 left, going to vacate left.
Very impressed with the upgrades, huge upgrades. Pop down through here, past all the closed duty free. There's the Cafe Nero. Alright, let's punch out. Look at that outlook over the apron. We're at Terminal 3 today, by the way. Stand 311 for our flight to Naples. Although British Airways is very slowly beginning to move all of its flights out from Terminal 3 to T5 to consolidate the ground services. I mean, visually, this is a huge improvement on the London Heathrow scenery, which they originally released. All of the textures are just so much better. A lot of really nice attention to detail included. But they have, I mean, they've randomly plopped some random Cafe Neros around. So there's more of those in Terminal 3 from memory than there are at Terminal 5. Terminal 5 is mainly Pret and Starbucks. But hey ho, it's been a little while since we've used the scenery, to be honest. I can't remember if the ground textures have been improved, but certainly with the weather being as crazy as it is at the moment in the UK, hitting around 35, almost 40 degrees towards that, at least around Heathrow, this baked texture looks pretty good actually. It looks quite accurate for, for how it all looks at the moment. And there's the rest of the airport. I mean, it looks very good, doesn't it? It looks so good. Jim knows you should be able to sit in our Discord. Then you should be able to see the Club Lounge, Jim. I think last time I saw your username in Discord, it was blue. So it hasn't quite linked properly yet. Blown up, absolutely. Crazy, right? There's somebody touching down. We've got a crosswind for our departure today. It's Alitalia, that is. So, and we mentioned performance is a lot better here. It is, but it is not super sweet and silky like we would otherwise hope. But it is such a big airport. Let's turn the drone camera up a second. Such a huge airport anyway that it's a mammoth task to try and optimize this whole thing. I love what they've done here with the tug parking bays around T5D, or what it is technically T5D. Is the fire station with one of the rotating ground radars. Oh yes. And the cargo centre looks remarkable. We pan round, I mean, we're quite far away, but they've actually added in a number of different trucks and liveries. It just all round looks a bit more realistic, so very, very nice indeed. Is it a little bit, this in conjunction with the Fenix is a little bit stuttery. About 25-ish frames per second I'm experiencing at the moment. Till I pan around, it could drop to 20 or so. Still no interior for the tower, and in fact, is that my eyes? It's interesting. So this this little walkway around the edge of the tower is actually really wonky. Look, it's not a nice straight smooth line. And we pan across to the central terminal area. We're going to work our way around past Terminal 2 back towards where we're parked. Down past the Kilo apron. No boarding there though, sadly, for the actual apron marker boards. And we're passing over the central terminal area, sort of landside section as well. Nighthawk, hello, welcome. At night T5 is laggy apparently, interesting. I'm noticing that, I mean, there's a lot of ground equipment in this section before, and this is kind of where it all started to fall apart a little bit previously. And actually, it's looking pretty good. They will need to update it again soon, because this now doesn't look like this anymore. I think the cranes are... Oh, hello. The cranes are pretty much gone, and the pit is no longer a pit, so it's very near to being reopened as a whole taxiway through the section there, across to the other side. But I'm sure they'll do it. Peekaboo, we've got to go and see Concorde before we head back towards our aircraft today. We've got 5-6 minutes before we've got to push back. Everything's already pre-set up, ready to go for our departure. Around Concorde, they've added an exclusion zone, which is basically something like a mesh they put over the textures, the ground, and it prevents like weeds and weird things and different parts of the world sort of spawning into it, if that makes sense. But yeah, very, very nice indeed, and already a hell of a lot smoother. Quite a nice, widely reported improvement, to be honest, the performance. Bearing in mind they've added significant extra detail to it as well. Some flickering textures there at Terminal 2. We were moving around, but that happens with a lot of scenery. And if they've done a T5 interior upgrade, they look to have done one at T2 actually already. We can see the insides appearing. So very, very familiar with the airport, flying in and out of there quite regular, and actually work from Heathrow too. So very well placed to kind of offer my thoughts and opinion with you guys with the scenery. Very nice. Caviar House and Prunia, which is that sort of bar area there. Very basic, but certainly quite nice. Ah, Jim, perfect. Nice one. And yeah, Leon, there we go, look at that. Very smart indeed, yeah, good work from the team. Oops. So central security's here, looks like they don't have any modelled departures interior for this side, so that's fine. T5 seems to have stole the show somewhat. But that's my favourite terminal anyway, so I don't mind too much. Pretty good, right? And there we are. Just about spot the BA A320 parked up, stand 311 in the cul-de-sac here. And they've actually got the crossing in quite nicely too. Here we are. So, let's reset our camera view back to about 7 or 8 on the speed with the rotation near to 20 or so. Ah, dock runway change. Laminac. Really? Company message. So we go to receive messages, load sheet. That's our final load sheet now today. Very much improved performance compared. Yeah. What are we doing here? Mass and balance. What was I looking for? Need the performance calculator. It looks like we're going to be about 2 or 3 minutes delayed. Hello, Paul. Might have just missed it. Actually, we've just been exploring the whole thing. We're about to push back. Much improved. Sent to your DM. I'm not on Discord when I'm streaming usually. Bear with me. Get rid of this horrendous music. Oh, you want Sim Update 10? No, never. I never bother with any of those bits, to be honest with you, because it's just more harm than it is good. So 09 right, mod me 1 Juliet departure now, folks. Mod me 1 Juliet, which is properly buggered us up here, so we're going to be delayed on our departure. So we need to change this. Which is that one. Let's clear the other chart we don't need. 136, it's outbound with a right turn. Sweeping out away from London. Flight plan, EGLL, departure, 09 right. Mod me 1 Juliet.
Heathrow traffic, shuttle 13 Charlie, fully established fire left, to the left.
Right, let's clear that. Away. There we go. Lima 612, performance page then, we've got to recalculate this because now we're switching to 09 right, runway's dry, 1 plus F, and what about our taxiing things? Let's have a little look-see here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have
what have we got? So push start, we're going to go all the way down Bravo.
Just a reminder about hand luggage.
We'll do November Bravo 8 or November 8. So November 8.
All other items must be placed into an overhead locker.
For an intersection departure, we'll recalculate the V speeds, and it's actually giving us much higher speeds now, so we've got to change all of this. 61 for flex,
We'd appreciate your assistance by closing the
1
overhead
down
lockers
0.1.
once they are completely full. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, that's row 9, or a front row bulkhead seat,
300, 151, 151, 153.
As the floor area around your seat must be completely clear.
151, 153. Probably still got Navigraph on the screen. I have. Back on the live chat in a second. Confirm takeoff data. That's set. Down 0.1. Goodness me. 2000. That's all good. That's all good. And we want to head back here. Fenix. Ground services. Connect tug. Heathrow traffic, speedbird 26 Alpha Lima as stand 311. Push start. So we're in the Romeo cul-de-sac at the moment. It's going to be difficult because we're using their awful pushback system here. I absolutely hate it with a passion. But yeah, you get the idea. We're using that. We've got to somehow try and turn around. We need to do a little ADC delay. Delay code. Let's bring this one up. AMC. Oops, C, not AM. There we go, 12:15. So we're just sending the company a delay. Say what's happening, and then we can start thinking about push start. So up here, beacon needs to go on, APU's all good, see what signs set as required. We're going to start pushback. Got to do this. Going to go ignition mode starts and engine 2. I hate this pushback system. There's just no good way of doing it. You can't even push forwards.
Wickham traffic. Wickham 147.172, departing runway 242.
And ground's just come online, fantastic.
9910, you filed from Gatwick, so contact Gatwick delivery 121.95.
This is the problem with their pushback system, look, it doesn't work. Fenix, sort out your pushback system, please. Absolute mess. There is no way you can push back without crashing into something in a cul-de-sac here with their pushback system. My least impressed thing with their aircraft add-on. Hate it. It's just rubbish, isn't it? Let's face it.
Heathrow ground below, Shamrock 15 November. We have information Alpha. We are Airbus A320, QNH 1025, requesting clearance to Dublin, please.
So we've got information Alpha.
Ground hello, report stand number.
Stand 223.
Surface winds 180 at 10, so we've got a crosswind of 10 knots straight across the airport. 325.
After departure, runway 09 right, climb straight.
Yeah, or just they could make it work with toolbar pushback, which is what we all like using. Yeah, I'd quite like to see them take the initiative to fix it, rather than just say, ambitious pilots need to do it.
Sorry,
I'm not going to send it. BA Ops, bugger off. Jim, you can't use it without having problems. We had loads of problems.
Departure, runway 09 right, climb straight ahead to London DME 2, then turn right heading 220 degrees. Initial climb 6,000 feet.
Hitting the microphone there.
Clear to Dublin, departures 9 right on the London DME 2, and then turn 220 degrees. Initial climb 6,000.
We've got tower 1185.
2262 for Shamrock 15 November.
Shamrock 15 November, correct.
Heathrow ground, good afternoon, speedbird 26 Alpha Lima, just pushed at stand 311 with Alpha, request RFR clearance to Naples.
So 26 Alpha Lima, Heathrow ground hello, cleared Naples, mod me 1 Juliet departure routine, mod me Mike 185 midder, stand asphalt, squawk is 1075.
Cleared Naples, mod me 1 Juliet departure, then Mike 185 Midhurst, squawk 1075, speedbird 26 Alpha Lima.
So 26 Alpha Lima, correct. Feedback Concord 1 on Alpha, can we park up on the terminal
Can't see
on the left?
the screen there. We need the next frequency, which is 1185.
1, Roger, left Charlie, stand of choice. Left Charlie, stand of choice, feedback Concord 1.
Peter Grant, hello. This is Shuttle 13 Charlie taxi on Bravo. Request taxi, please.
185's ready.
Charlie, thanks. Just hold short, Charlie, for now. Deflate the company.
1 and 2, that's set. Let's get ignition mode norm.
And then
Flaps 1 plus F.
Charlie, hold Charlie.
Taxi lights are on. APU off.
Hold short of Charlie, give way to Concord and...
I'll turn the interior dome lights on, but they don't do a thing, so...
Shuttle 12 Charlie.
Uber 26 Alpha Lima, request taxi.
So 26 Alpha Lima, just check the squawk 1075 on second right Alpha, hold Hawker.
Request push and start, Lufthansa 907.
Apologies, reset squawk 1075 and second right Alpha. Just to repeat the hold, please.
So 26 Alpha Lima, hold Hawker.
And hold Hawker, thank you. Uber 26 Alpha Lima. Hawker, got it. Which is next to November Bravo, so that works out nicely for us.
Heathrow ground, Lufthansa 907, requesting push
Let's get the part break off.
Lufthansa 907, stand 226,
Rock and roll.
push and start, push face west.
Push and start face west.
I just really hope Fenix sorts out the pushback, because it's a horrible system. The one thing that genuinely ruins it for me, I think it really frustrates me now, having to remove a really good pushback system. That's all good, that's set and green, so takeoff config test, and our V-speed's 151.
Push and start, push face east. Push and start facing east.
Let's set that. There is a... What is that? June?
We're now going to explain the emergency procedures on this British Airways aircraft.
He's coming off of this exit, so I'm just going to hold slow right down for him.
First, check your seatbelt.
Yeah, I'll just hold here. I'll do some control checks.
Insert the metal tag into the buckle and tighten by pulling on the loose end. To unfasten,
Feedback Concord 1, parking stand 556.
find the seatbelt sign in the plate above your head. When it's on, you must fasten your seatbelt.
The other thing I'd like them to fix is the views here. Default view. It's all a bit weird. Doc says now, instead of ranting about Fenix, why not just fly by wire? It's better than Fenix anyway, so I'd love to. I have not used fly by wire for a little while, but at the same time, this is a payware aircraft. It should be better. These little things, you'd like to think that they would polish them nice and quickly. System depth wise, this is a lot better though. He's holding there, so I'm just going to get out of his way, because no doubt someone else will come in shortly and want to use that.
Romeo November, mod me 1 Juliet departure, routing mod me Mike 185, Midhurst, then asphalt, squawk 7604.
Ah, brilliant, Doc. Oh, that's far too late to tell me that now.
Via mod mate, by squawk 7604 occupied 27 Juliet Mike.
Very impressed with the new V2, version 2 for iniBuilds London Heathrow. It's really good. This with the PMDG 737 I think would be a lot better.
France 22 Papa Delta Heathrow, ground hello, second right Bravo, stand 303 right.
Second right on to Bravo, front band, 303 right, Papa Delta.
Short 13 Charlie, left on Bravo, hold short link 58.
Left on Bravo, hold short, Lima 58, link 58, correction, for Shuttle 12 Charlie.
The life jacket is fitted with a light and
Request taxi.
Neil's not a fan of the Fenix at all then.
your oxygen mask is behind the panel just above your head.
Lufthansa 907, first left.
Problem is that one of the best ways to get some nice A320 ops with BA out of Heathrow, so It's just one of those things.
Is
that-
32, then right on Alpha.
There's a Concorde. That's the Speedbird Concorde that we've heard calling up. So it's in the AIG models.
Still with 33.
Amazing.
In some areas,
Sorry, contact Heathrow Tower 118.5, bye-bye.
streamer.
On the Tower 118.5, shall it remember? See ya.
You may need to reach through the dividing screen to retrieve your mask. All electronic devices, including
Speedbird flight Charlie,
ground
today, William 375, stand to 18, copy,
running
copy.
on the ground during takeoff, approach, and please
Blue 3715 Heathrow Tower, report your aircraft type, please, information Alpha.
Bobby, I think it's the stuttering's a blend of Heathrow and Fenix, because Fenix isn't that smooth on my system, to be honest. Especially compared to the PMDG, which is just silky smooth all the time. Hayden, yes.
Lima, Romeo, Charlie,
Absolutely.
Lima, Delling 1, Juliet, departure, squawk 3.
Dylan, I know, that's the bit I can't get my head around. They've made a wonderful aeroplane, but they've overlooked such a key glaring issue, because if you push back every flight, almost every flight, you could be on a remote stand like in Madrid, I guess, but pretty much all the time you're going to have some need to push back.
Blue 3715, correct.
put the safety card in the seat.
It does frustrate the heck out of me,
Questions, please ask your crew.
but hey, they won't listen.
You have a relaxed and enjoyable flight.
They'll just go through their own process of upgrading whatever they want when they want, I guess. Not had an update from Fenix for a little while either, I don't think.
904 Heathrow ground, thanks. Put your stand number, please.
Blue, yeah. It shows why they're the market leaders, I guess.
904, thanks. Cleared Frankfurt, Delling 1, Juliet, departure, squawk 7645.
All mail, absolutely smashing it down, bravo.
Fully ready, push and start.
There's the Concorde.
Zero 904, correct. Break through 26 Alpha Lima, contact Heathrow Tower 118.5.
Contact Tower 118.5, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima, thanks, see ya.
Speedbird Concorde 1 is disconnected.
Tower, good afternoon, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima approaching Hawker, ready for departure, able November Bravo 8.
Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima, Heathrow Tower, good afternoon. Via November Bravo 8 to line up 09 right.
Via November Bravo 8, line up 09 right, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima.
Heathrow Tower, good afternoon. Shamrock.
Let's put them out the belly, so I've got one less click to worry about.
09 left, 10.5 miles.
Shamrock 16 Whiskey, Heathrow Tower,
There's
good
Hawker.
afternoon. The service wind 180 degrees, 10 knots, runway 09 left, cleared to land.
Please land 09 left, Shamrock 16 Whiskey.
Poseidon, well, very, very close to an update. Basically, they'll include an EFB that will allow for all of that to happen. So, yeah, as you say, you love the PMDG. You're going to be really excited because there is a nice big update coming soon. So strobes are on, and we're 09 right for the ModMe 1 Juliet departure now. So a little change of plans.
Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
As light signs all set as required.
Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima, the service wind 180 degrees, 10 knots.
Let's keep it rolling.
09 right, cleared takeoff.
Good takeoff, 09 right, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima. There's the windsock. Always look for the windsock before starting a takeoff roll. Get stick forwards. We have a rogue van. 2 clicks, flex, SRS, runway. We're going to go stick into winds. Go for about 45-degree deflection on the aileron, I think. See how we go with that one. 80 knots. Maintain that centre line. 10 knot crosswind straight across the aeroplane. And a very derated takeoff. View on, rotate.
Heathrow Tower, Lufthansa Diners,
Three.
you taxiway Alpha.
That's positive rate. Gear up.
Orca, ready for departure.
Savannah 907 Heathrow Tower, good afternoon.
Autopilot 1 on.
From November Bravo 8, the service wind 160 degrees and 90 knots, runway 09 right, clear takeoff.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it, John?
From
Leave a climb.
November 8, cleared for takeoff, runway 09 right, Lufthansa 9. Thank you.
Away we go. They do need to optimise this so much more, don't they? I think the Fenix as well. Ethan, absolutely. I'll definitely say the PMTG 737 there. Easy choice there, buddy. Yeah, no, personal preference influences that. It all depends on what you want to. Look how
26 Alpha Lima, continue with Unicom 122.
how busy that airspace is. Continue Unicom Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima. Thanks for the ATC. Enjoy the weather.
Right.
Hey, structure, good afternoon. Speedbird 5 Charlie on the top on out.
That's an automatic. Let's put it on anyway. That is so busy. Look at that airspace, folks. How fantastic is that? Heathrow traffic, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima's outbound 4,000 and climbing on a Modme 1 Juliet departure, unrestricted flight level 350. Before I do commit to being unrestricted, I'm just going to make sure that we haven't got any problems with continuing the climb all the way up. So let's carry on. Let's go open climb mode. Ground spoilers can be disarmed.
I would have a personal welcome to you all, and welcome back executive crew members and One World frequent flyers. If there is absolutely anything we can do to make our journey more comfortable this evening, please let one of us know.
Standards.
Recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. There must be security fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is switched on.
And standby instruments set to.
If you are seated in our first or club world cabins this evening, please do take care.
Where we go?
Personal electronic devices do not get lost beneath the seat.
Yeah, it's all 737 to 700 Aurora flights around Canada pretty much, isn't it, for Fly UK? There's a couple of options. Flight reports, it's going to be the end of August, I think. That's my general feeling. Jim, good question. What's your estimated time of dispatch for your merch in general when ordered? So usually I think it takes about a week or so to go through print and quality control, up to 2 weeks if it's really busy. And then I think if you're based in the States, delivery is usually very quick after that. If you're in the UK or Europe, it can take, basically in total, it can take up to about a month from order through to delivery. It depends. That upgrade from iniBuilds is really, really nice indeed. So yeah, very, very welcomed update. Blue trigger them myself really, but if you use the Luke Air Tools Pack Sim, it will recognise the different phases of flight and it will play the next sound packing sequence all the way through. We can unpin our departure charts now as well, because we don't need those. Jim, nice.
And sensor traffic, ZAP 771 is descending over Vatum on the Banver 1 Lima arrival.
Much smoother indeed, yeah. I'd imagine that in conjunction, like, so the Heathrow scenery in conjunction with a fairly decent on performance aircraft like the 737, it would be a very smooth experience indeed. Wow, that sim looks ridiculously busy. Stars into Naples, we're expecting ILS Zulu 24 via the Erica 1 Alpha arrival. So we can pin those ready. And I think the last time we flew into Naples, from memory, we had some freeware scenery, I think. Or it might have just been default scenery, potentially. So this is going to be the new payware scenery releasing in 3 days from now from RDPresets, the amazing development team behind that really nice Rotterdam scenery for MSFS, which we flew to recently. Can anybody see Gatwick there? Ah, dock, nice. Yeah, perhaps I need to start using it a bit more frequently, that pack sim thing. Good shout, Jim, thank you. It's broke again. Fly Live Studio. Rarely works smoothly, does it? That overlay that you guys can see. So let me just refresh it. EGLL to LIRN, and we are BAW 26 Alpha Lima. Oh, Neil, nice. There we go, that's working again properly now. Through 18,000 feet, which, you know what we need to do, turn the lights off. I'll pull those off and release the nippers. Blue, always nice to hear. Thank you, buddy. Gatwick's got great coverage on the network at the moment. We've got approach, tower, ground and delivery online at the moment. Manchester's got some ATC as well, and Heathrow's got ground and tower. Thank you to both of those controllers, by the way, if they are watching in the background. Really appreciate you guys providing a bit of ATC for our departure. Always nice to have that bit more of immersion. How are we doing up here? That's looking good. That was quite a nice departure with the 10 knot crosswind straight across the aeroplane. There's the coast. Mates, we're off to Naples, Italy. Off to go and preview a brand new scenery coming in 3 days' time. All the links, by the way, are in the description for today's live stream. For all of them. So the Fenix A320, the iniBuilds Heathrow version 2, which for those of you who already own it, it's a free upgrade. And for those who haven't yet purchased it, they're doing an offer at the moment where you get a discount off the Heathrow scenery if you do want to purchase it post-update. And now I can highly recommend it. I liked it before, it was much better than the Sobo version, but now, yeah, hands down, fantastic scenery, very lifelike. And they will have to update it again, because some of the construction areas are almost complete. So you know that there's going to be another update in the future. Jim, sadly no. We were planning on going to Japan in September, but we're buying a house. The house market in the UK is rather crazy at the moment, so we've had to cancel that trip so that we can basically afford to move. We'll go there one day. Fabio, this is just a 4K livery. To be honest, it depends on what system spec you have, but when I've looked at a reasonable distance between an 8K and a 4K livery, you can't actually notice the differences. It's when you go really close up, but very rarely do you go properly close to the aircraft. That's the next thing on my priority list for Fenix. Those animations, that sort of like visual effect, it's rather messy, isn't it? Not very nice. Doesn't happen on any other aeroplanes that we've got. It's something that they've overlooked. Doc, thank you, buddy. Yeah, really pleased to have hit that milestone. 20,000 subscribers. Very exciting times ahead. Cameron, welcome back. And we've got some fantastic giveaways planned with a group flight as well. So we're going to be doing a group flight with the PMDG 737 on VATSIM. We're going to fly from Miami, which has got a really nice Latin VFR scenery, down to Toncontin for that really tricky approach. It's going to be great fun for a group flight on the network. And yeah, we'll be in the 737 doing it along the way. We're going to make sure that two people watching rather, will win a license for the PMDG 737, and yet each of the two winners will get to decide if they want the 700 or the 600 variant. Basically, it's a fantastic prize, as they're donated by PMDG. And then we've got some gift cards or gift vouchers for Contrail's web shop. Fantastic products on there for a couple of winners too. Blue a couple of days ago. Ian, very nice. Off to Zakynthos. Diego, yeah, absolutely. It's twice as detailed and slightly better on performance. They've done a great job with it. Wonderful London Heathrow now. I think at the time when they released version 1, I said that it was about time that Microsoft Flight Simulator had an airport scenery for Heathrow that was deserved of the quality of the graphics on the sim. This is now the time, absolutely. Jim, yeah, group flight on VATSIM. We wouldn't necessarily expect any ATC because we are going to be flying from Miami to Toncontin, so we probably won't get any ATC coverage, but you never know. We could get a controller jump online. The route will be published prior to the group flight, and it'll be set up in advance so people can see when it's going to happen.
Gatwick ground, can you hear me?
You're on Unicom at the moment. Tony, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. Nick, thank you, buddy. There's a question. Do you usually input engine out procedures in the secondary flight plan? To be honest, I rarely touch the secondary flight plan. I just import it and leave it as it is. EHAM scenery for Jim. I think, was it Fly Tampa, I think, are creating one? Or was that just somebody's wish list? I can't remember now. Might have been somebody in the live chat, or was it Yoep in Discord mentioning it? Blue, yeah, we did the vote. Did a poll on Discord, and basically VATSIM won by landslide, so we'll do the group flight on there, but the route is going to be Miami to Toncontin, so it'll be quite good. And like I said, we're not going to expect any ATC, but you never know. It'd be a great chance to use VATSIM though, even if it's your first flight. Just fly along with us and you'll be flying the exact same route, so all you have to do is listen out to those keywords and then just repeat basically. It'll be fine. $5,000 to go to cruise. And we've got no center controllers online, so we're just going to be sailing along quite merrily all the way down to Naples today. Diego, how's the PPL going? So that's the other thing I've had to stop doing as well. I've not flown now for about 9 or 10 weeks, sadly, because yeah, buying a new house that we can just about barely afford has meant that I'm having to use all my flying money that I'd saved up over the years for that. But again, I think as Jim said earlier on, priorities are priorities. And a house purchase is more important than getting a PPL. There you go, yeah, pretty much, Jim. Why not? We could dress it up as that too. Blue, well, you can use whatever aircraft you're comfortable with, to be honest. You can do it in the A320 if you want to. It'd just be myself that's flying the 737. You can use any aeroplane that you think is suitable for the route. WC Reynolds, any videos posted on how to get the cabin window views on the Fenix A320? No, but that's because it's even easier than setting custom views on any other aeroplane. In effect, you want to make sure that you've set your views, or the sort of free look around, so like right mouse click, you can move this about and you can use the little left, right, up, down arrow keys on your keyboard to move about. And what you can do is just open the door and you can press and hold the right click and you can walk in, or you can just sidestep in, crab in. And effectively you just move to a window that you want to set the view for, i.e. here. Like that. And then you can set, if you have to make sure in settings, the control settings, you have keybinds set for save custom view. Save custom view 1 all the way through to 9, I think it is, and then you want to make sure you've got a different keybind set for load custom view. So you could press the keybinds to save it like so, and then you'd press a keybind to load the custom view like that. If that makes sense. Caden's asking, when do you think you'll be doing the group flight? So I'm conscious at the moment not everybody's going to be free in the week, so it might be towards the end of July. We're halfway through July now anyway, so it's likely to be maybe the 26th or 27th of July, or the 29th or 30th of July. And that should give people about a week just to kind of prepare as well, if they wanted to do a test run of the route and kind of experiment with the approach a little bit before then diving into that group flight. And then we'll run the giveaway. So if you're flying along, you definitely have to watch as well. Okey-doke, there's cruise. Jen, that's not a bad shout. For those of you who are a little bit nervous, you could perhaps even do shared cockpit with a couple of people using the Flabberwire A320. That could be quite a good option. What have we got here? Fuel predictions. Blue, yeah, it'll be on Discord, and then it'll be a scheduled live stream as well. Part of the thumbnail will have on it group flight, something like that. What's the flight time between Miami and Toncontin as well? I can't think now. Is it a couple of hours or so? About 2 hours? And then you've got that amazing approach in. That'd be quite good fun. Alan, it's going to be Miami to Toncontin. I will have a date set in the next couple of days, I think, once it's done. I don't want it to be too soon, so it gives people a chance to prepare. And I'm conscious at the moment some of you might not be free during the weekdays until maybe in a week's time. So we'll try and fit it in around most people, I suppose. And it most likely be around 1200 UTC again. That's standard sort of stream time for us here. So everybody kind of knows what time to expect it to be taking place. Pricing wise for Naples, I'm not sure what the price is going to be. The only thing we know is the release date of the 20th of July, but the standard of their Rotterdam is just wonderful. It's just fantastic. So I'm excited to look into the Naples scenery that they're going to be releasing. I've not actually loaded in to have a look yet. I've just basically downloaded it prior to today's live stream actually starting. Oh, hello buddy, welcome. Hope you're okay. MHTG Faris, I think, off the top of my head. I'd have to Google it. Ian, yes, you remember that? That was quite a while ago, wasn't it? With who was I flying with? Was it Callum at the time? It was just an absolute mess, wasn't it? That nosedive about 20,000 feet at one point as well. That was really stressful. Alan, no worries. Keep at it. Keep at it. You'll be fine. One thing I could probably suggest, if you've not already done so, is take a look at some of my tutorials. They're basically designed to just help you get started nice and easy without overcomplicating much stuff. Then you can learn it quite quick. Paul, massive difference. Yeah, performance is a lot nicer with EGLL V2 with even more detail as well, which is quite good. I like Terminal 5's interior; it's quite nice. A couple of discrepancies, weird things within it, but otherwise very nice. Sanders, hello, welcome. Hope you're well. Oh, what flight were you doing today, out of interest? You flying into Heathrow? You heading in from sort of Edinburgh or elsewhere? Cass, hello, welcome. John, yeah. He put Carry On to shame, that did. Oslo Heathrow, very nice, yeah. Ian, V2 is already out. I think it was released yesterday or the day before last. We were intending to preview it, but because I've been at work, I've just not had a chance. Well, I'm on night shifts over the next 2 nights, so a hard slog for 2 days. During peak temperatures, record temperatures apparently. And yeah, it's on sale at the moment. Post updates, you'll get it for a little bit cheaper too. But yeah, with all the kit I wear as well, it makes it feel like it's about 45-50 degrees. It's really uncomfortable. Doc, what sort of time were you thinking then? Jim, not really. That's kind of the problem, really, the technicalities of it. I'd probably have to do a couple of flights just to get back in into the throes of it all, which will then cost me a bit more money. And obviously I'm halfway through the exams too, so if I don't get all the exams complete and my license issued by September next year, all of my exams will expire and go out of date too, so I'll have to do them all over again. Oh, I could say it's designed to just take loads of money off you, but yeah, you guys get the idea. Ian, could do. And then turn it on when I need heat. As it jets out about 90 degrees heat. Over the next sort of few weeks we need to have a look at the new Simulations Palmer Airport as well. Though I'm not quite sure who flies there, but we'll have to give it a go. Yeah, that's it, Jim. Determined to complete it at some point in the future. Once I've got this little bit of busyness over summer, out of the way, then I might be able to sort of get a bit of budget put aside for some more flying. I might end up changing out of Denham though and moving to Wickham Airdrome, something like that, Wickham Air Park. Roland, good afternoon, buddy. Yeah, very good, thank you. Very hot. Hopefully you're okay as well. Hope you're well. Is that actually a thing? One international route to Chisinau. That can't be true, right? Blue, that's the other thing. Look at that. Right to left, or left to right, sorry. Yeah, it'll cost you about $2.5 to $3 grand a year just to keep it up to date. Which is the other thing, really. It's just woefully expensive. That, I think, is that performance black hole that is Charles de Gaulle, isn't it? Let me have a look on Volanta. Let's try and find us here. It is Charles de Gaulle, yeah, Charles de Gaulle. Actually, that could have been Paris Orly. Is that Paris Orly? Seems like it's too big for Paris Orly. I know. Let's go to the wing. That view. There you go, he's answered it for me. Orly's down here somewhere, but actually, there's Charles de Gaulle. That is Paris Orly. Makes you realise how big Paris is. Absolute whopper of an airport. Route today is going to take us over Geneva, into into Italian airspace near to Milan, Malpensa, just passing southwest of that. And then south of Bologna as we cut all the way down past Rome into Naples on the sort of slightly more southern aspect of Italy's coast on the west coast. Right, very nice. Paris Beauvais. Okay, interesting. We have a company message. Probably our little departure thing, isn't it? It tells you to send a delay card, but you could just say no. Just ignore it. It would be AMC for us because of the departure runway change. Yeah, pretty sure the one right at the very top was Charles de Gaulle, and the one that we were seeing that I got confused about was Orly, which is a horrible airport to fly now of in real life. ADC must equal 5 minutes. Well, you know what? I have no idea because I've sent 5 now and they've all been rejected, so they can bugger it. John, nice. How are you getting on with the Fenix? Is it working nicely? Have you found that it's just there's a couple of bugs that you've been tackling, or have you been learning it quite nicely? There's our ETP there, that little circle on our flight plan route. That's our equal sort of time point. So at that point, as we cross that, at the very top of the overlay, you should see that the progress bar should be smack bang in the middle. That'll be our halfway point there. And at the moment, we've got a bit of a tailwind helping us along too, which is quite nice. There's all of the different delay cards for the Fenix. I love how engineering delays include simulator restart. MISC other, I guess that includes rubbish pushback system. And that's the current weather in Naples. So winds are 240 at 9, variable between 200 and 270 degrees. Few clouds, 3,000 towering cumulus, which is interesting. (31°C), temperature's 24 in a QNH 1017. Compare that against the temperature in the UK at the moment, or in Heathrow it's 29 degrees apparently, but I know Spain, Portugal, Greece especially are just getting absolutely smashed with weather at the moment. We're a quarter of the way there too. What we've done as well, we've left, we can probably clear ADF now as well, get rid of that. We've left the VORs just empty. What the aeroplane does is it automatically would tune the nearest VORs, it will give you the distances from them as well, so it will track them. It's tracking MOU at the moment, I think, is it? No, hold on, what's it? Yeah, tracking MOU, so 79 miles to MOU. and you'll absolutely love it. Though if you can wait long enough, the 800 will be out in about a month and a bit. John's got a TCAS warning. Can't see anything because the sun has wiped out the knobs on the TCAS panel. Brilliant. Just click things until it fixes it. Or breaks it more. That's Paul second, see nothing changes. Blue, it's a lot lighter, so it's a lot sportier as well. Fabio, fingers crossed the approach is really nice for us today then, if that's the case. I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty confident it's going to be a remarkably nice bit of scenery for us, so we'll find out when we get there, but I think we can expect some nice arrival scenery. This new RDPresets payware that's coming just 3 days. Brilliant. Terminal 2's check-in's been suspended. 1,000 bags an hour at the moment, apparently, they can't cope. Brilliant. T-Man, 3 days indeed. Wallet's ready. Not sure of the price, but I guess you could probably estimate it roughly based upon their Rotterdam scenery. John says, take a look at your Squawk TCAS panel. It'll be the same as mine. There you go. Good grief, yeah. I see what you mean. Oh, amazing. Thank you, buddy. Just dropped a really generous tip there. Thank you very much for supporting the stream. That's really appreciated. Thanks, Paul. Very kind. Tube Loop's feeling hot. Very hot. It's must be about 30 degrees outside, but in the with the rig on here in the sim streaming, pushing this PC to kind of its limits almost. It's ridiculously hot in here. I mean, it was hot enough yesterday at work. I had 2 ice creams throughout my shift, and that wasn't enough to cool me down. There we go. Let's get some cabin views for a little while, shall we? How's things with you, Paul, as well? I was wondering the other day if business has picked up again and you're still super busy. Blue's asking, where do you usually get your METAR from when flying the 737? On the Flybowire I use the MCDU, so I just use the vPilot client. On vPilot you can type in .METAR and then the code, and that's all I do. Oh, we've got loads of centres online now. Hold on, who have we got here online? Just hard loads of Europe just tune in. LFBB UN centres just come online, but we're just skirting their airspace. Got Adriatic radar online. We've got München, Warsaw. Got CP Centre. We've got LFBBs, Bordeaux. God, that supervisor's caused carnage. Just sent a broadcast to everybody on the network saying, "Hello, probationary supervisor here. Call me when you're the last to go." And loads of people have gone, "Who's this?" Hello Grayson, hello, welcome. T-Man saying that honestly think waiting would have been better for the PMDG, but I'm not sure. I think it's hands down the best aircraft add-on at the moment that's available. T-Man saying not fond of PMDGs, the developers, but the aircraft are nice, I guess. The 800 has way more routes too, yeah. Well, the 700 is very popular still in the States, but very, very good indeed. I think it's a fantastic aeroplane, and this is coming from somebody that I've never liked 737s. I was always more of an Airbus kind of guy. Airbus A320, I just found it very easy to kind of learn and be. It was quite intuitive. It's very easy to use and manage. But yeah, the 737's blown me away with its level of detail and what they've been able to do with it in the sim as well. And there are more updates coming. The EFB is going to be coming soon. Their new LNAV version 2 is going to be coming soon as well. Lots to look forward to. The 800 is going to be remarkably good, and with sim update 10 due in the middle of August, we're going to have the weather API released too, which means that we're going to be able to get weather radar in all our payware aircraft finally. Good to hear, Paul. That's fantastic. Mega busy. Hopefully it will stay that way. As long as you get the odd bit of time to get into the flight sim, do a little trip. Ian, thank you, mate. Congrats on the milestone. Really appreciate that. Thank you to all of you for being part of the channel. To over 20,000 subscribers now. It's a huge achievement. Never ever thought I'd get this far, that's for sure. Neil's got the 700. Love it. And you make your own routes. That's the other nice thing as well, isn't it? You don't have to stick to real world routes. I don't always stick to real world routes. Not too overly fussed by it, to be honest. But then I know some people just absolutely stick to it like gospel. Blown up, not sure. We were saying a little while ago it's going to be probably around about a week away now. It will give people an opportunity to get prepped for it and everything else. Maybe even practice the route. Some people like to practice routes in advance of the streams. I'm not sure if that's a good look, John. Have you got your silly little stripes on as well? Yeah, that's where virtual airlines come into their own. Fly UK, you can just go on there and say I want to fly the 737 today. You click it and it'll give you all the routes that it can do underneath the virtual airline tag. You can get a nice variety that way, and same with their tours too. Oh, nice. Hopefully with the Aerosoft Tel Aviv. That's a great, nice bit of scenery. Team and the Mad Dog's got loads of glaring issues with it, to be honest. Whilst it looks cool, and in theory it's a really cool aeroplane, I don't think it's been updated very much recently, and certainly it's still left with a lot of very incomplete, very rough sounds to it, so that's not great. Oh, Paul, that's not good. I almost had that the other week. I got to about 3 weeks into my reminder sort of time frame, so I had about a week left before my thing got deleted, so I managed to do a quick flight to Barra in the Twin Otter. Peter, nice. Mr. Reptiles, thanks for subscribing to the channel, welcome on board. Yeah, T-Man, it's the most expensive aircraft in the sim at the moment, and possibly one of the roughest. Which is why I don't have it. Of course, a lot of content creators got it straight away on release, said how amazing it is, but realistically, when you look deeper into it and you speak to non-content creators, you can get sometimes a bit more of an honest review of those sort of things. So, a lot of our channel members who have been enjoying it since release have come out and mentioned about the sounds, the textures, and all that lacking a lot of finesse and detail. But they've said the simulation of the aircraft is extremely good, but the rest of it's quite rough around the edges. And for something that's about 90 quid, or 90, is it about 90 euros or so? It's not acceptable, is it really? In my opinion. Which is why I've refused to purchase it even to this day. I'll get it when they sort the sounds and the textures out and they improve it into a bit more of an all-round finished package. Blown it very nice. Going on holiday to Lisbon, then Ibiza. Nice little double trip there for you. Portugal's suffering from some rather severe wildfires at the moment. They've been struggling to control due to the weather. Keep clicking the like button as well, folks, while you're here. And if you're new to the channel, do click subscribe like Mystic did a couple of minutes ago. Jim, CRJ is a brilliant aeroplane. Aerosoft have done a remarkably good job with it. One of my favourites. How we're doing outside. Whoa. Look at how loud it is out here. I haven't flown in the CRJ for quite some time, to be honest. We are overdue a flight in that and the 146. Just Flight 146 is a fantastic bit of fun. It's remarkably well made aircraft add-on by Just Flight. I can highly recommend the 146. There's the Alps in the distance. Absolutely blue. And you know what? I was looking. I was sat on the apron yesterday at work on the airfield, and I was watching a Virgin A350 head off and BA A350 head off, and I was kind of looking at the two, and I came to the conclusion that the BA livery on the A350 looked remarkably good, almost as if it was kind of made for the aeroplane, or the aeroplane was made for the livery. It matched very nicely. Yeah, I think for me, if my account got deactivated, well, I probably would never bother to rejoin. Especially if you put in all that effort to get to the rank you're at initially, for it to all then count for nothing, I'd be quite frustrated. There's an aircraft on TCAS coming towards us. Here. he is over here somewhere. There he is. You know what? We have to go outside for this one and try and catch him. Where'd he go? There he is. Good grief. Hopefully you can just about see that. It's an EasyJet. Very high. He must be near to sort of flight level 410 or so. Yeah, I don't know, Lolo, I think it all just blends in quite nicely. It's just a bit more smooth. I think aircraft up to now, like the Boeing 777, were just a little bit more blocky, if that makes sense. Right, let's dive into Volanta. Let's have a little look here. What have we got? There's our route. Departed London Heathrow, which is really busy at the moment. Look at that. And then straight off after departure, we're on this smooth right-hand turn past Teddington all the way down to Modmy, before then continuing west of Brighton over the Channel, over then French airspace passing Paris. And we're just about to overfly Geneva over the next maybe 20 minutes. Still got a little way to go. Rome's got a tower on at the moment. It's got approach online as well. Yeah, Lolo, it's not very healthy for the system, to be honest, but yeah, that's it's not abnormal. Pretty much maxes out the CPU at 100% and then just kind of starts to freeze and things. So, Chris, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. I could just unpin it. That's easier. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, we've got the new Doncaster scenery. It's been created by digital design team. Fantastic developers. Made some beautiful scenery across the world so far, and they've made Doncaster Sheffield, which is going to be closing in the next few weeks. So it will remain firmly alive in the sim world with some very nice scenery there, and we'll be enjoying that. Avsim's local airport. And we'll be doing a route of choice from Max as well, so we get to choose his own route that we will fly. Yeah, Chris, I just unpinned it. If you can't clear it and you're not too happy about it, then I'll just get rid of it. Ian's got the passengers outside pushing to try and catch up. You get them to throw their baggage out of the window as well, then you become lighter and you can fly faster. New bricks, fantastic to hear. So excited for Naples from RDPresets. That's a huge one. So for New Bricks saying it opens up so many routes for him in the south. Knew they were working on it, but thought it might have been dead. Really hope this is at least okay. So, as I said earlier on, I've not actually seen it myself, but based upon our experience of how good their Rotterdam scenery is, or how nice their Rotterdam scenery seems to be, I think we could probably be quite confident with this. Neil, I think so, yeah. Yeah, we're going to be flying the most random of airlines, BH Air. What's their call sign, actually? Out of curiosity. Christopher, perhaps somebody could download one of those Pajero mods and then go razzing down there for us. Lolo's saying, if you could give one short-haul airline some long-range aircraft, which airline and aircraft would it be and why? Oh, big question. Can't really say BA, can I? Because it's not really technically a short-haul airline. Let's have a think. That's a tough one. I'd say Aegean, I think. I don't think Aegean has any long-haul aircraft, does it? But I think I'd like to see the Aegean livery on, like, maybe some A330 Neos, Dreamliner A350, that sort of thing. I think that'd be quite cool. Alpha Star, welcome. First time joining the live stream. Great to have you here. Hope you're well. And saying very new to flight sim. Hopefully you're getting on okay. What's your favourite aircraft and add-ons so far, Alpha Star? Bighorn. Is that actually their call sign? Fantastic. Jeff's just picked up the PA-28 Warrior. Handles just like the real aircraft. Love it. It's yeah, brilliant, isn't it? They're I've got their Turbo Arrow, which is great fun. Definitely need to buy the Warrior, to be honest. Aegean A380 for Christopher. That looked quite cool. New Brick saying, I agree. Aegean's a superb airline. Had the best food ever on a back-to-back airlines. Most LCC airlines don't have a long haul for a reason, so I wouldn't say them. Hey White, hello to you, welcome. Yeah, proceeding well so far at least. We had the usual frustrations of the Fenix pushback system, which are just... the more I use it, the angrier I get about it. They need to sort it out. They need to put energy into actually making it nice to use. Especially when it shouts at you for having toolbar pushback installed. So I then quit the sim to remove it, to make Fenix happy. And then I end up suffering with the worst pushback system in the entire sim world, I think. There, I said it. Shaquille, hello, welcome. David, good afternoon. How are you? And... Avsim wants to see a Wizz Air Antonov 225. Yeah, they're just like general aviation aircraft, are just remarkably well created. I think they handle really accurately. For the right turn. Left turn, sorry. I'm panning right. But I think Aegean's a low-cost carrier, is it? Oh, could you imagine a JetBlue A350? Jeff, yeah, but I don't think Fenix should just leave it to toolbar pushback folks to sort out, because it's a freeware mod which could never get updated again. So I think I would like to see Fenix work to make it compatible. And you know what? How far would that go for the community as well? People would be like, you know what? That's amazing of Fenix. Thank you so much. Yeah, odd one. Sometimes it's worth the gesture, isn't it? They can fix it perhaps themselves a little bit. Work to optimise the Fenix A320 with the toolbar pushback mod. I'm trying to think what other airlines, short haul airlines, we would like to see with long haul fleets. Alpha Star, yeah, both fantastic sceneries there. Pyreek Devco is one of the best flight sim scenery developers in the community at the moment. And the Fly-by-Wire A320X, glad to hear you enjoying that as well. It's a really great bit of freeware. Adios, Max. Have a good day. Enjoy the weather. MFS pilot, exactly, and as Jim's saying there, Fenix should have sorted this one out already. Danny, more in the sense that I can use toolbar pushback without there being any problems with the PMDG 737. I can use it without any problems on the Just Flight 146 or the Fly-by-Wire A320X, the Headwind A330. It all works quite nicely with it. It is just the Fenix A320 that doesn't like the toolbar pushback mod. So there's obviously something in the code or the way it handles. The only thing I can think of is because the Fenix program and the way that they've locked down their aircraft add-on to prevent piracy, running that program outside the sim. I think most of the simulation runs outside the sim as well through that Fenix app, and I think there's a disagree between that and toolbar pushback somewhere. So potentially it's something that they could fix themselves, or they could just give us a nice toolbar pushback. They could give us a nice pushback in the EFB rather than that awful left-right back and thing that they've got. Still in talks, Neil. Yeah, I can't imagine it working though, because it's just so expensive to maintain an airport that's just not making profit, and an airport that airlines aren't really that bothered into, for flying into. It's down to passengers as well. For me, I wouldn't necessarily want to get a flight out of Doncaster if it was 20 quid more expensive than a flight from an airport a couple of minutes down the road, a bit further away. Jim, is Osprey Airways getting a Kodiak livery? I'm not sure, I don't have it, to be honest with you. So we'd need to have what's it called? I'm trying to think of the word now. Lost my train of thought. I'd need to find a livery creator that can actually paint it for us, basically. Yeah, I mean, those of you saying you've not really had many problems with the toolbar pushback, well, the pushback inside the Fenix EFB. You watched the start of today's live stream. Some of these cul-de-sac stands that you end up starting to and from, just impossible. A little bit of Alpine action. Crossing into Italian airspace soon. That's it, you might as well just go to Manchester then, because you've got more connections and more options available to you, Neil, isn't it? Danny uses the inbuilt pushback from Fenix. It works fine for him. It works, but it's just awful. It's one of those things for me that having gone back to that when we've got something so good like the toolbar pushback mod, which works fine for everything else, as I've said, it ruins the product for me. And I kept it in on the last time we flew the Fenix A320. I kept toolbar pushback installed. I cleared the message, and then we had all sorts of weird behaviour. VNAV was broken on the Fenix, and they blamed toolbar pushback for that. Yes, there's some weird thing that goes on between the two, to be honest. Doesn't really make much sense. But I would rather be able to use a nice pushback with a nice aeroplane. It's all part of the experience, isn't it? Oh, look at that, we're cruising at our optimal flight level as well, 350 today. There's Erica. $370 miles to go, so we've still got a little while to go before we need to worry about inserting any arrival routes via Erica there. We're expecting the ILS still for 24 via Bento. Jeff, yes, yeah. Saying the Fenix pushback system works is like saying the MSFS camera system works as well. Alpha Star's a great livery on the A380, isn't it? The Chatham House dog livery for British Airways. Jim, John, yes. Watch your VNAV the way it descends. It gets very confused. We had some very odd behaviour with it, but I think one of the developers, it must have been a developer or someone involved with Fenix, was in the live chat at the time, and he said if you go into the cog here and you just turn it off, it disables it, and then it solves the problem or something. It's a bit weird. But like Jim's saying, it can be the difference between picking this aircraft or another one to fly for your flight. Well, Christopher, on that basis then, on that logic, it should be completely automated. But how can you automate the tug unless you use pre-planning? So it's not crap, as you're saying there. You're pre-planning the pushback, knowing where you need to push to, so that the tug driver does it automatically for you in that sort of logic. Olin's saying that GSX are targeting a summer release. Who's creating GSX again? I forget. I've kind of not really been following any of the options of the news of that one, really, to be honest. When that comes to MSFS, that's going to be insane. It's going to be really good. Yeah, Peter, indeed. The snow looks inviting, doesn't it? Christopher, so on GSX, do you... I've never used it. I'm guessing it's a program, isn't it? And you click where you want to push back to. That's still pre-planning. They've just... Toolbar Pushback have just called it pre-planning. They could have called it something else that didn't mean pre-plan, and it would have had a completely different meaning, but it's the same thing. And it did what I clicked, but you can't avoid, so if you're in a cul-de-sac, you can't push nicely out of a tight spot. You can't move forwards, or anything like that either. It just, the way aircraft get pushed back in that cul-de-sac in Terminal 3 is tight. But then having to use the Fenix pushback system is just a mess. It just doesn't work, and that's where it shows its weaknesses. Christopher, that does sound good. Nolan, awesome. Yeah, much to look forward to for that. Absolutely. FS Dream Team, I'll have to remember that. I've enjoyed their Zurich before. Yeah, GSX for MSFS is just going to be a big old market leader, isn't it? John says it's playing up already. I'm heading towards Russia. I'm in trouble. God. Let me try and find you on the map. Now there's a question, Jeff. Yeah, I think GSX kind of completes the way pushback and everything works, doesn't it? So you will get, based on the aircraft size, you'll get tow bars and things like that. Yeah, there's an airport there. I think that is Milan, isn't it? One of the airports in Milan. I'll just try and find it here. Yeah, that's Malpensa. There you go. And Cameri Air Base as well, just below us. So into Italian airspace now already. Yeah, very nice. How's the temperature? It's hot, isn't it? John, perfect. It's weird, isn't it? You just toggle it off and then it just forgets that it's installed or something. I'm not really sure how it works, and then Fenix works again. I just don't understand how there's that clash when all the other aircraft are working fine. It's got to be something to do with the way Fenix simulates everything outside of the sim in that program. But I'd rather they fix it, to be honest. Pushback is, you know, it's a big thing, isn't it? Getting a nice pushback system in the sim is quite a big thing for the experience. I keep going on about it, but I don't hear any of the content creators criticising it that much. Yeah, very nice. Pretty sure when it's a heat wave, Heathrow seems to be like the hottest place in the universe with all that concrete. Got landing rate monitor fired up as well, so we've been tracking our flight for Osprey Airways. We'll get the touchdown rating on the ground too. John's saying, God, I missed my 737. It really makes the PMDG 737 stand out, doesn't it? So John, from your own opinion then, how do you compare the Fenix A320 to the fly-by-wire A320X? Yeah, Christopher, that sounds like a mandatory add-on, doesn't it? That every simmer should have. But my God, I bet it's a lot of work for them. 72 likes so far. Thank you, folks. Really appreciate everybody who's given us a thumbs up today so far. Good to see a lot of you enjoying today's live stream. Jeff says, I've also seen conflicts with spatial audio. So if the airport like Payware DCA and the aircraft like Fenix both use spatial audio, the sounds stop working. Is that something they know about? I've not read that in the known issues, I don't think. Is that a bug that they're aware of? Jan, it should tell you TOD on the nav display. That's when you know you need to start descending. Percy 2, cheers buddy. Chris was saying that GSX can be plugged into the ACARS as well, so the bus arrives at your specified boarding time. That's incredible. The evil cookie. Are you allowed to say whatever happened to FSLTL? Is the project dead? So I've not had any updates for a long time, to be honest. It pretty much died for a little while. Let me go onto their Discord and have a look, because I've heard it's kind of coming back again. There you go. So an update from Lewis, one of the sort of painters who's now become one of the lead admins and developers. In effect, they've said that earlier this year, as we all know now, the real world geopolitical situation, i.e. Ukraine-Russia, Russia invading the very nice country of the Ukraine, significantly impacted some key members of our team and created a situation where we were unable to advance the project. Whilst individual members were able to continue with some elements, we were unable to move forward as a cohesive unit without the critical impact of the affected team members and leadership. So FSLTL struggled with focused direction and the existing permissions that the available dev team had. They currently remain without those key team members that continue to be affected by the real world situation, but with input from our group's leadership, they've now been able to organise our structure and responsibilities to move the project forwards at least. With some roadblocks being removed, some permissions delegated correctly, and they're slowly getting back on track and rebuilding the momentum that they've lost over the last half year. That was an update from the 24th of June, and obviously since then there's been quite a lot of stuff too. So it is still alive, there's still progress being made, but I just don't think it's anywhere near as good. Progress-wise as they'd probably like to be at the moment. So it's still coming, but I think it's going to be quite far away. Janet, the little green circle that says TOD. John's feedback, Fenix versus different bits, saying there the Fenix is a bit like a robot compared to the 737. PMDG is more likeable and is more satisfying to fly, to be honest. I think I'd share that opinion. I think you get more rewarding experience from the PMDG and it just feels a bit more complete. Well, I can't really show what the 737 top of descent marker looks like, sadly, because we're in an Airbus. The Airbus top of descent marker is like a little line and a down arrow. It's literally is an arrow. I can't show you what the 737 one looks like really today. It's literally a little circle on the nav display on the line of the route. So it would kind of look like the waypoints here in the A320, but it would be a little circle and it would say TOD. And FSLTL is basically like AIG's model matching rivals. AIG have been actively trying to just destroy their project. They were supposed to release about a year ago, and then AIG just caused so many problems, which is why FLAI ended up going dead, because AIG just blew it all up basically, for their own sort of, so they could come out as the victors really and own it all as model matching champions. But FSLTL still alive, thankfully, still going to be a competitor. It'll be great when they're both available. That's the Airbus top of descent marker. Yeah, John, what about your thoughts of Fenix versus fly-by-wire? Naples weather at the moment, 230 degrees at 8 knots. Winds are variable between 190 and 270 degrees. 230 at 8. All the nines, few clouds at 4,000, temperatures 32 degrees Celsius, and the QNH 1017. I can't imagine that's going to be changing anytime soon. What's our progress like here? 144 miles to Erica, so we've still got a little while before we need to think about, as long as before we hit Avuli we've got our arrival in at Erica, going inbound from there, we should be okay. But I'd be very tempted to throw it in now, to be honest. LIRN, arrival, and we want the ILS Zulu 24, and we want the Erica 1 Alpha arrival there, like so. Approach vires, Bento. Insert. And then flight plan page. I keep clicking that because it's nav. It's yeah, I think that's legs page around here on the MCDU on the 737. Okay, so let's bring up Navigraph. So this is the Erica 1 Alpha arrival. It's an RNAV arrival at an RNAV star for runway 24 into Naples. So over that bit of terrain there's Erica, and we're going to be descending down to between flight level 130 and 170 by Pazub. There's a little H there with a square. That means there's a hold that's on the charts somewhere. There it is. So if for whatever reason it's super busy, like if it was a big VATSIM event or something, then we would be holding there potentially. But you want to make sure on the right hand side the MCDU has got the nav data in correctly. So it's telling us there's a constraint at flight level 170 there. RN671, flight level 155. It says we want to be at or above flight level 110 with a max speed of 220. So the constraints in there too, the pink dots. We scroll down a bit further so we can see a bit more. RN664, flight level 110. At or above again, and Ukov at or above flight level 100. And the MCDU's telling us we're going to be around flight level 124 at that point. There's a 1. Got to find the little 1 on the charts. There you go. 8,000 plus by ATC, so it could be overwritten. Oldaf between 8,000 feet and 110. Telling us to be at flight level 110 bizarrely there, and then Kuford flight level 99. Olku above 7,000. It's pretty much got us about 8,000, about 2,000 feet above what we want to be at. But you can see Kuford, Polko, RN727 and Bento are all at or above 7,000. It reckons in 8 miles we can drop 1,000 feet there. If it can achieve that, I'm going to be well impressed. Actually, I need to do a slash. It's not that one, it's not that one, it's that one. Polku, 6 miles. There's our top of descent marker. So if we go to Bento, we should also see hold on a second. There we go. At Bento we should see 200 knots, which is a max speed, and at or above 7,000, which is fine. Now it's telling us there's too steep a path. So from Bento on the charts, we can see the ILS. We need to then click across to the ILS Zulu charts from Bento. We can see we want to be RN714 at 5,200, which is there. It's on the charts. It's on our MCDU as well. Max 185. And then what have we got here? So Uruk 3,910. It is actually a fairly steep drop at that point, to be fair. What's the distance? That's Uruk there. It's because of the terrain. 5.2, 3,910. Wow, there's literally about a mile or so in. So there's a 2 on the charts here. Let me just find what that refers to. Oh, there you go. 2.7 miles. Oh. So 2.7 miles to drop about 1,000 feet. 1,200 feet. But as long as we are at 2,200 feet by 5.6 DME, we can sort it out. So after Uruk, what have we got? I think we could just about maybe make that work. Drag's going to help us here. It's now warning us again, too steep path ahead. And that's the average ILS glide slope there, 3.33. And our minimums, 540 feet for category C. So we're going to need to tune the Cappuccino VOR NAP 11095, and also make sure the ILS is tuned to the RadNav 109.5, 4-letter identifier of INPL, and a course of 235 degrees. Transition altitude is going to be about 9,000 feet, I think. Danny, yeah, that could potentially sort it. It all depends on speed management, drag management, all that sort of stuff. Obviously the VNAV's telling us. In fact, can I do this? You can do this quite nicely on the in the 737. You can tell it constraint wise. You can say, right, I want to be at or below these speeds. In this, it doesn't let you do it, which is interesting. Is there a way to do it? Am I just putting this in wrong like a absolute goober? Can't think of any other options really. Bento max, I'm going to suggest 180 at Bento and then 160 at the next one. $180 and then 160, I think. What we'll have to do then is configure early for it. Minus. So all the weird differences. So RN, was it Bento was max 200, wasn't it? Let's try that in. Minus 200. There we go. Thank goodness you guys are watching. Alright, there we go. And then RN. I'm just going to do minus 180. It's still selling us there. Too steep a path. It'll keep warning us of that. Now interestingly at Uruk, you see that I've changed the constraints to minus 200 and a few other bits. It's now got Uruk confused and it thinks it wants to be at 67 knots at Uruk, which is a bit weird. We're going to have to really watch that then. Uruk is max 185 as well, so... How many miles from Uruk? It's only 10 miles. Alright, so I'm going to ask it to be at 160. I am more familiar with Boeing nowadays, yes, you're absolutely right. But it actually seems more logical, weirdly enough, in a Boeing. Anyway, the only way we're going to deal with this is decent drag management. So we're going to need flaps and gear at the right time. Roaming control is online, is it? Lovely. 13125, cheers Doc, save me looking. I think my last landing in this as well was quite hard. Hopefully it'll be a bit smoother this time around.
Attention all aircraft on this frequency, switch over to 124.2. Attention all aircraft on this frequency, switch over to frequency 124.2.
Okay, so he's changed his frequency, so we might be changing his coverage. About 100 nautical miles now to top of descent, folks. Well, I had a friend who was a Ryanair pilot, and he flew into I can't remember the airport, he said. He flew into that airport, and they took his lunch order with a pizza on final approach prior to landing. Waterfall 2. Remote control, good afternoon, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima, flight level 350, inbound Avuli.
Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima, remote control, radar consent.
Roma, good afternoon, Alpine 56, uniform Mike.
Alpine 56, uniform Mark, remote control, go ahead.
Ciao, on ground at Lima, India Echo Oscar, ready to prepare for to Toulouse.
Okay, so request standby.
Maybe, Christopher, but it's an Airbus. It should be able to sort it out itself. Ian, that's what I had yesterday. Thankfully. With some breaded mushrooms. David, so it's been a while in the Fenix Heathrow to Frankfurt. Terrible landing, but otherwise a good fly. Nice. Yeah, my tendency is to land these quite heavy, I think. I will try to keep it smooth and accurate today. No promises. What are we doing next? So we're 80 miles to top descent. We've got to think about heading in. Let's go to performance. We're just going to put in some arrival data. When did I take the METAR? 1320. So there should be a new one generated now.
Alpine 516 from Mike. Clear to destination via Puzzle 6 Delta departure.
Yes, winds 220 at 7.
Initial climb is 5,000 feet and your squawk is
31 degrees, QNH 1017, winds variable 170 to 260. I feel like VATSIM might be struggling at the moment because I can see V-Pilot, loads of different controllers all flashing around. And
you know what, everyone give me a moment because my sector file is it's frozen, so I can't do anything right now. Just one moment, guys.
I think VATSIM's glitching. 1017. Temp 31. We'll leave that as it is. That can stay as it is as well. And then the minimums we mentioned, 540, wasn't it, on the charts? Let's do the charts on the screen for you guys.
Pine 516 for Mike, cleared via post 6 Delta, initially 5,000 feet, squawk 5515.
There we go.
Feedback is correct.
Yeah, well sadly the data's not that accurate, Christopher, to be honest. Well, at least it doesn't appear to be. In the 737, you will see the range on the charts. You'll see the at or above to at or below. So you'll see that range on the charts that we were just discussing. In this,
give me a moment because I'm having an issue with my sector file where it keeps freezing. So let me try to figure out the situation while it's doing that, and then I'll get back to you.
Go on, David. What's the what was your touchdown rating?
No problem, sir.
Very nice. Probably forgotten it all then. There's our progress. Total flight of 932 nautical miles. Quite nice. And he reckons we're going to be arriving about 6 minutes after our
Alright, you know what?
scheduled arrival.
I'm gonna sort this issue out, and then I'll get back to you guys.
Sounds like he's disconnecting for a little while. There's Naples. I guess you could call this the first glimpse of the new RDPresets Naples scenery. Yeah, Christopher, that makes a good point as well. One of the things I tend to forget actually with the Airbus, anything over, is it 20, 21 degrees, 25 degrees, I forget. Beyond a certain temperature, you have to, when you land, you leave flaps 1 out. And it's an Airbus SOP basically, due to, it's on a, way it talks about is it kind of mentions that the wings and the flaps and things can swell and they can stick in basically. Right, let's go to our performance as well for our arrival. Let's have a little look, see what it can expect from us. LRN, and we want 2-4 dry. Get the METAR. John, yes, quite. So we need a landing weight. Let me grab my Simbury flight plan. And it'll give us our estimated landing weight, but I think it's a little inaccurate, isn't it? $62 tons. That's a good question as well. What's the runway length here at Naples? 2,628 metres. 24 is going to be bringing us up towards the terminal to vacate left around Bravo Charlie. So that should work out quite nicely for us actually. Full flap, max reverse, low auto brake, manual landing at 62 tons. See there's various little speed limit points as well as these little magenta icons along our planned route. That's where the aeroplane's working out it needs to slow down. So what do we want to go down to? Let's have a little look. We'll descend using VNAV. Might as well just set it down to 7,000. About 30 miles to top of descent. What else? Enter destination data. We've already done that. It's in the performance page. There. And the go around data's already done as well. We've put that in. In the navrads, we've got the correct frequency. 109.5 and INPL 235 for the course. It's actually 235 on the charts. It's saying 234 here. I'll leave it as it is. Just see what happens. And the slope downwards 3.3 degrees. And then we're going to want to make sure we've got Cappuccino tuned of 110.95. I'm actually going to tune that in now onto 1 so it's fixed. NAP. The other one will update by itself. Still not fixed his line, still don't have any ATC. I'll go back to Unicom. Missed approach for this is climb runway heading to 5,000 at 750 feet, turn left, max 185 knots, direct to Romeo November 706. Then we're going to proceed via the Romeo November 711 waypoint to Aleba to Ischia to join the holding at Ischia. We've got a fair bit of terrain to descend around actually. The peaks around us, we're going to be at 5,200 feet. Some of the peaks to the left of us is going to be at 5,200 feet as well, which is pretty high. And there's top descent, folks. So let's hit up, open. We don't want open, we want managed descent. So descent mode now for it to follow the VNAV, which is the little ball there. We'll just see what it does. iniBuilds releasing the first ever heliport scenery. Interesting. John, I don't think you want pedal disconnect active for touchdown, because that, from memory, disconnects the pedals so you can use the tiller or something. I can't remember which way it is round now. Yeah, you might need rudder on approach, for example. You might need rudder on touchdown to maintain the centre line until that slower speed. Then you would press the pedal in. Then you'd press it in to vacate using the tiller. I think that's how it usually tends to work. Which heliport, Doc? Is it London heliport by any chance? That'd be quite cool. Very busy. Still got no controllers. Oh well, that's a shame. We spoke to him briefly. Yeah, you want to make sure the button's up then. And according to Fly Live Studio, we are 10 minutes to landing, folks. 10 minutes? It can't be that soon. We're probably about 15 to 20. Oh, Doc, awesome. What a choice. That's quite cool. Alex, this is a real route, yes. Heathrow to Naples, British Airways. Keep clicking the likes, folks. Hopefully we can get to 100 before we touch down, and we'll have a good explore of the upcoming RDPresets Naples scenery. As we said at the beginning today, the scenery that we're landing at today in Naples is releasing on the 20th of July this year. It's payware that by RDPresets, who've made a fantastic, really, really nice Rotterdam scenery for MSFS. John, yes. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think that's... I think that's a bit random anyway. I'm not convinced I understand what triggers it. Right, we want low auto brake. Let's activate that. We might need spoilers, ground spoilers, to be activated through a little bit of the approach in towards the ILS. That little section that says it's too steep. Ah, awesome view. There goes the PTU. telling the postman off. The last time we flew into Naples as well in the sim, we were approaching from sort of Athens direction, weren't we, from memory? Was it Naples to Mykonos and back, I think, maybe? Don't care.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, now well into our descent. Go fast, seatbelt signs have been switched on. So if you're moving around the cabin or using the washrooms at this time, we'd ask you now to return to your seats. Ensuring any hand baggage you may have moved during the journey is placed either underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead lockers. Your tray tables should be folded away, seat backs in the upright position, seatbelt securely fastened for landing. If you continue to use four handheld devices at this time, however, if you're using a laptop, these need to be placed into a seat pocket or overhead locker. We'd also ask you at this time to familiarise yourself with your nearest emergency exit.
Bingo. More cabin announcements. 5 aircraft in Naples. Wow. Okay. Gonna be interesting. And there's all the constraints now kicking in. And we're just gonna let the VNAV do its thing. We're gonna leave it on managed speed, managed heading, managed altitude. It's just gonna work itself out all the way down. What we can do, 1017 isn't it? So we could be really quick here, as it confuses the VNAV. And we can set 1017 and just cheat away. One less thing to do then for descent here. Our live studio's broken again, of course it is. There we go, should be fixed. BVS man, hello to you, welcome. Great to hear. There's that bottom of descent marker, which is telling us we're going to be at 7,000, bang on there, which is good because it gives us a couple of miles leeway there, just a bit of flexibility up to Bento at 7,000. Alex F, it's the Luke Air Tool. It's freeware, and it's got a great free thing on it as well. It's like pack sim and self-loading cargo, and basically, but it's a free version of it, which is great. PTU, Alex. It's basically part of the hydraulic system. There it is. So it can move hydraulic fluid around. So if you get an engine failure, for example, it will move hydraulics across the systems so that all the important stuff still works. And it's that dog bark noise that you hear on the Airbus during engine start. That's usually the PTU doing its thing. Quite an iconic noise with an Airbus, bizarrely. Look at that, it's lost the VNAV path there. Now 4,000 feet per minute. Good grief. That's where VNAV can get a little bit messy. Bear in mind the next waypoint got to be at 220 knots. More drag on the warning there, see on the PFD and on the MCDU. Speed error at Bento. We'll leave the drag out. He's back. 1242. Bremer control, hello again. Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima is descending on the Erica 1 Alpha arrival into Napoli. I'm expecting ILS 24, currently flight level 150 descending. Get rid of their music. Route 10 in a minute. And the airport is just the other side of that little, I think maybe like a little volcano or something, just over there somewhere, I believe. In fact, yeah. Might be before that actually.
Roman control, operation 22, flight level 350, 10 miles inbound.
I don't think he's ready for us yet.
Roman control, operation 1, Alpha Golf, flight level 230, inbound, Riffy.
Ah yes, Mount Vesuvius.
We're having some scope issues, I don't know if he's actually there.
No one over. Good luck, John. Thank you, Cap.
He needs it. Okay, for the left turn. Look at that. Very cool.
Yes, get back to you.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good shout. Napoli traffic, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima is currently flight level 120 descending to 7,000 inbound. Erica 1 Alpha arrival expecting ILS Zulu runway 24 and will report Bento Napoli traffic. So loud outside.
Napoli traffic, runway 1 Papa Romeo, expecting to holding for takeoff runway 24, currently on Tango 0.
There's Naples there actually, I think we just spotted it. There's Vesuvius. We'll be below 10 in a minute. down to 7, and I might set continuation down to about 2,500. In fact, what have we got here? Down to 5, isn't it? Set 3. Alex, yeah, it is stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. Just visually wonderful.
Prime, you taking the intersection.
Look at that.
Stay firm, I'm taking Echo. Watch out.
Traffic, Ryan 9 Lima Bravo's. We're going to take full length so company can take the intersection ahead.
There's like quite a few departing all of a sudden. Newbrick's currently on Corfu. Found out everyone's having a much bigger problem with departing on time here than in Berlin. Even though it's a lot smaller, Berlin's currently struggling with capacity. I think the whole of Europe's just under an absolute meltdown with airports. Yeah, it's quite remarkable actually how much of a mess some of these airports are in. I think, as we were saying the other day, the airlines are unfairly getting a disproportionate amount of blame for the amount of mess that's going on here, I think, as well. The majority of it is sheer short-sightedness from the airports and massive lack of staff. Like Amsterdam, Schiphol's pretty much on its knees. Pretty much just collapsed in on itself. Max 210 knots for Palku, which is this next waypoint, and actually our airspeed's already 210, and it's our green dot speed, so... As we pass that, we're going to deploy flap. 1+F, I think.
Traffic line to the departing way and lining up and wait on the floor right.
TCAS, that's somebody flying behind us. Oh, Crystal, very nice. Where are you flying to? Absolutely, Jim, that's it. Nail on the head. Massively underpaid industry for the amount of work required. I say that for personal experience. When I was cabin crew, I was getting paid absolutely nothing, peanuts, to do what is a very difficult, tricky job with some serious responsibilities as well. And, you know, £12,000 a year. I think people have just gone, no, I'm not doing it. Learning Palku. Joel's off for a night shift later. Yeah, I'm on a night shift as well. In Heathrow though, for me. I'll think of you slightly further north. You know what I forgot to do? Lights. Ding 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 ding, that's all good. Give me a little ding ding. Alex, it depends. It depends what you're doing. 1224, is it? I can't see anything on my V-Pilot client. On 224, I haven't got anything on that frequency. That's interesting, look at that, it's completely lost speed. Bad Fenix. It's just pretty much idled the throttle there and almost put us into alpha floor if I hadn't noticed that. What are we, flaps 2 at the moment? Still can't see anybody on V-Pilot. And in we go. Long final. 27 miles to run. And then we'll be taking our first ever look at the brand new preview for the upcoming RDPresets Naples scenery on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Very exciting. Bento at 7, you can see there we've got another little marker for us. Somebody else downwind. Said I'd report Bento, that'd be the next point. That's that high terrain at about 5,000 that we're going to be passing. Max 200 knots at Bento, we're doing 180, which is absolutely fine. What else do we want to do? Let's flick across to the ILS charts now as well, because we're still a little further out. Don't think we're yet picking it up either. We're not. That's fine. We'll give it another couple of minutes. We should see it go live here. We should get like a bit of a DME as well. Let's activate approach phase. Yeah, we don't want that. Let's just leave it. Warning of a steep approach coming up. Now we've got a bit of the ILS.
Traffic Alpha 477 behind, departing from Houston and Alpha Boy somewhat behind.
Napoli traffic, speedbird 26 Alpha Lima, 7,000 feet, passing Bento, inbound and established ILS Zulu, runway 24, approximately 18 miles. Napoli traffic. There's the airport, just see the runway right in the distance. Back down for a VNAV descent, we'll keep it going to 3. We've got this bit of terrain to get over at the moment. Could use terrain mode, but we're visual, so we just maintain that visual reference. Look at that. Wonderful. Really nice. Where are we now? On 6. So we know we've got a steep descent coming up for this next section. Let's go flap 2. We're going to get a bit more drag on the airframe.
Taking off now, 124, button 487.
Mount Vesuvius just off the pillar. Here's the glide slope. Look, we're just starting to basically meet it. AP 1 and 2. 2,500. 14 miles. And actually now we don't need to worry about that steep descent. On 60 till 4, let's do that. Lovely approach.
Airborne from runway 24 at time 487.
so noisy on the outside. Crikey. Okay, right, let's just get a couple of bits sorted out. We need speed brakes armed. Let's go for gear down. Lap 3. Napoli traffic, speedbird 26 Alpha Lima is 9 miles final. Way 24. Make sure that's now set to 5. Probably less than 8 miles to be honest, because we are tracking a VOR that's a little further away. That's gear down 3 green. 1 like away from 100. Let's go full flat. And just quickly enjoy a couple of these views. Look at that. Really, really nice part of the world this is. As T-Man's saying there, it's an absolutely stunning view on approach into Naples. We're all set now for our approach and landing. Quick check of the overhead and make sure we have set everything that's required down here too. We should get landing inhibit in a minute with all our checklists. And as usual, I will fly the last little bit in myself. In fact, I'm tempted to do that now. We fly her in from 1,600 feet. HK Flight Simulation, hello buddy, welcome. Yeah, let's fly it in all the way. There's the outer marker, and we're visual. My controls. Wind's 3 knots, right to left, so crosswind. Naples, here we come. Wesley, hello buddy. Hope you're well. Good evening to you. Little adjustment. And then if you do make that tiny adjustment, you've got to make sure you get the nose back down to the right vertical speed. Otherwise you'll lose the ILS. HK, you challenged me. We're doing it. What do you reckon my landing rating is going to be, folks? Quickly put your guess into the live chat. Hoping it'll be smooth. It's looking good still. Want to maintain 800 foot per minute roughly. A little speed change there all of a sudden to a 10 knot headwind. That's just caused us to get a little bit unstable, but it's nothing we can't manage. It's become very variable actually. 2 red, 2 white on the Pappies. There's the touchdown zone, the aiming point. 124 for Badger. This is looking really nice for scenery. Continue. Here we go.
100. 50. 20. Retard.
Oh, still floating. There we go. Oh, how's that for touchdown? Who guessed 1? Oh dear, it's the skidding bug. There we go. And a bit of manual brakes, reverse green on both. We'll vacate at Bravo Charlie. I mean, straight away there's a lot of detail here that I'm noticing. Julius, mind officially blown. The Napoli traffic, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima has vacated Bravo Charlie. That's ridiculous. -1 foot per minute.
26 Alpha Lima to Mike Hotel on pushback off stand 3.
What the hell was it doing there?
Here at,
well, that wasn't me.
Naples, I'm possibly in your way at the moment.
Well, we turn our flights off, strobes off. Let's pop those out and taxi lights on as required there as well. And we just need some taxi charts. What have we got? Bravo Charlie, we've got to go. Oh, is there the one-way system? Ian, not having that. Now, the challenge for you, Ian, is to get 0.5 foot per minute.
And Naples traffic, Speedbird to Mike Hotel off stand 3, taxiing holding point Golf via for runway 24.
Stand 3. At least it doesn't call me a retard constantly this time.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the fasten seatbelt signs have been switched off. You may now use your mobile phones or handheld portable electronic devices. When it is safe to leave your seats, be careful when opening the overhead lockers as items may have moved and could fall out and cause injury. Before leaving the aircraft, please make sure you have all of your personal belongings with you. And remember that smoking is not allowed until you have reached
Stand 20 is available. Just got to follow the one-way system.
From all of us at British Airways and the One World Alliance, thank you for choosing to fly with us.
Napoli traffic, Speedbird 26 Alpha Lima is going to taxi in turn after the company traffic. Left onto Romeo, right Quebec, and stand 20.
And a very nice weekend. Thank you.
Zoom, zoom. Love it. He's off. He's incurred a company delay. Cam, no, sadly no replay on that one. I haven't got enough time. I've got to be getting ready for work in about 15 minutes. So, we're making good progress, but I don't sadly have the time for a replay. I know why it was -1, because I floated to absolute no end. Look at the detail on this scenery, folks. It's nice doing the one-way system, actually. It kind of makes us have to drive around and have a little tour. That's more like a Ryanair taxi, that was, or like Southwest in the States. No, sadly not. I wish I was. The only thing I can fly are the small Piper PA-28s.
Overhead, Aldas, comms are 1 Alpha arrival for LS in 184.
Could just be OBS, T-man. Let's see. There may be a blend actually of OBS and the sim. I know Fenix is a bit heavy, to be honest. John's out, what do you mean? Look at this, this releases in 3 days. Welcome if you are just tuning in.
Traffic Osprey, someone else got C210 spacing, sending altitude
17. 120. Let's pop the taxi lights off. Let's turn engine 2 off. Add a tank transfer shown, and we will turn on to number 20. Harry, not sure of the price yet, to be honest. It's not going to be too dissimilar to Rotterdam, I don't think. I can't see it being much dissimilar, too different.
Feel free to read my milestone chat.
Oh, that's the building. Here we go. Wesley, thank you, buddy. Car brake set. Harry, much improved. Much improved. Okay. Let's fire her up, shall we? Gotta shut down. Oh dear, what a shame. There's an aeroflot. And let's commence deboarding. Right, let's whack this up. Turn the speed up. I think we should start down here by the threshold because we might be able to catch a couple of people departing. Then we can work back towards the terminal. Departing and taking off, I should say. Landing. The Sukhoi Superjet, I think. Roy, there we go. So the price for the RDPresets Naples scenery that we've just touched down at in 1999. Is that US dollars? Flaps 1, Christopher. Yes, good point. Keep doing it, don't I? We can do that. There you go, flaps 1. I thought I heard somebody say short final, but I can't see them. Look at this. It's nice to see the cars there on the outside of the perimeter, all like bustling around, nice and busy on the perimeter road. Performance so far has been actually quite nice here at the scenery, I have to say. There's early indications of a lot of fantastic detail. Maybe I'll slow this drone camera down a little bit. Like so. What do we got over here? For the buildings, there's a glide slope stuff, the ILS. Really nice runway textures. There's the touchdown zone. So whoever that was on short final, they've got to be here now. Where are they? Can't see them yet. Ah, there's the lights. Got them. There's 2 on approach. Here we go. There's one a couple of miles behind as well. Couple of hangars over there as well, detailed as part of the scenery. And a little fuel farm area there as well. Look.
3 miles out, runway 24.
And there's wonderful Mount Vesuvius just overhanging the backdrop of the airport, which is really nice. Oh, Advanced Aviation.
Naples traffic, Osprey 2472 is following the star, crossing Aldef at speed 210 knots. Naples traffic. I would highly recommend the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight system. That's what I'm using at the moment. I've had it for almost a year now, I think, and it works remarkably well. It's really, really nice. Doc make a good point there. €1 is pretty much $1 now. But there we go. Yeah, just to clear that up, folks. So this RDPreset Naples scenery is releasing on the 20th of July for €19.99. Like
Look at that, two very close together on final approach there. Very nice.
Behind the landing, Bravo Victor X-ray 722, line up and wait, runway 24 behind.
Naples traffic Osprey 722, 1.3 miles, runway 24.
Here he comes, Scav. We'll watch him land, we'll chase him down towards the other side of the airport. A proper way to fly, Christopher. How much is the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro Advanced Aviation? Not sure the prices of those, to be honest. Here we go. He's looking a bit high. That's a go around. He's buzzing the tower. That's what he's doing.
Naples traffic Alpine 18 Azul equivocate to runway 24.
Showing off.
Naples traffic Osprey 722 going around.
He's only just vacated, to be fair. Look at that. Oh, it's an EasyJet. Right, let's explore what this scenery has to offer. There's so much here. A lot of different objects and textures and all sorts. We got anybody in the chat that lives near Naples, by the way? Love to know what you think. Oh, $20. Perhaps not then. Yeah, the Turtle Beach Velocity one's about $350. That BA is not departing yet, is he? Let's continue to explore. So we've got the car park zones here as well, the sort of big multi-storey car park all modelled in. A couple of these custom buildings here as well, this older side of the airport, which is the military apron, I think, isn't it? I think it is. The detail on that roof, that's definitely military.
Naples traffic Alpine 18 Romeo 4 miles from final runway 24.
Because the Brussels, Aerosoft's Brussels is just mind-blowingly good, isn't it?
Naples traffic Osprey 2472 overhead Palku.
Look at that.
Speed 210 knots. Disabled by the star. Naples traffic.
Low, probably, yeah. Alright, we've got loads of buildings to go and sort of like mooch around and explore. I don't think any of them have an interior. But again, not really ever bothered about that myself, to be honest. Vulcano Buono on the signs there, some custom signs and buildings around the edge of the perimeter. A couple of little car parks as well. Oh, there goes the BA A320. This is keeping us busy today. Let's go and explore the main terminal.
Viva to Mike Hotel, off runway 24, climbing through 1,300 feet.
There's the tower. And the apron taxiway sort of textures everything really crisp, very nicely detailed. The actual terminal building where we've parked has got all the sort of stands and things all modelled in.
Naples traffic Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, stop to style left runway 24, 10 miles.
You've got all the remote stands. There's sort of little gate rooms and things there. Then we move around to where we've parked. We've got all of these sort of sixth buildings.
traffic, Alpine 18, Romeo vacating via Bravo.
It's deboarding, but it's not respawned the stairs. How unfortunate.
Osprey 71 Alpha Delta going around.
You got another guy around. Is he? Can't see him. Interesting. We go to the other side of the airport, Tango November, taxiway, bit of like a maintenance facility if you like. Velox, hello to you, welcome. So, the new version 2 from iniBuilds is fantastic on performance now. Still not silky smooth because of the sheer size of London Heathrow, but this airport is very nice indeed, works really nice. Performance is good, even with the Fenix. Got a very nice smooth approach. If we go up and away, kind of that sort of helicopter kind of camera view here, get you a nice good overlook of the actual airport. Look at that. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? What do you guys think? All important. Get your opinion too as we have a quick look around. Oh, look at that reflective surface there on the metal. That's incredible. There's the front of the building. And there goes the, I was going to say Alitalia, but it's basically ITA now, isn't it? Jim's going to pick this one up for sure. There's the engine run-up bay. Up he goes. Let's change the time to night quickly, shall we? See what it looks like at night time.
Naples traffic, Osprey 2472, established on the localizer.
Look at that. That's fantastic. Fantastic sunset sort of time as well for this. The emissives there on the windows are very yellow. They kind of stand out quite a lot. But otherwise, absolutely incredible. This must be stunning to fly into the scenery here at this time of night in the sim. Look at that. With the backdrop of Vesuvius as well.
Osprey 722, Osprey 7 Alpha Golf, are you flying the full, Mr. Roach?
Right, we've got time to watch this one landing, and I will have to then head off to work. Sadly, I'm on a 12-hour night shift. Ian, yeah, that's what we need to check. Are they all bust up?
Roger that.
T-Man's enjoying the scenery, saying it look. I'm so just wow. Yeah, it's. I think a good scenery can really sort of set itself apart at night time, especially that sunset twilight period.
Well, I've got a different approach to you, so I'll probably turn in before you, maybe, because I'm on the.
This is John in the Fenix, I think. Wesley, thanks for your super chat earlier on. Really generous of you. Really appreciate that. Been a member for 19 months, saying enjoy your landing. Ooh. almost 2 years now. We've achieved great victory with Miami to Toncontin. Also, reminder to transfer to the PCF. Oh yes. This is another thing with the Fenix. So obviously we've selected ground power unit, so it's now added that on itself to all the AI models, but it also does not like AI at all. So we're going to get constant retracting gear. It looks very bizarre.
Osprey, 79 Alpha Golf. Do you want me to slow down and just let you go into it? Osprey 726.
As he taxis off.
I'm inside you, so I'll turn now and head on into the arrival. You should be okay, I think, space one.
Sounds like a plan.
There we are.
I'll run minimum speed.
We've done London Heathrow with the new iniScene version 2 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, all the way to the upcoming Naples scenery by RDPresets, and all the links are in the description. There's a link that will take you to the RDPreset website. The developers have said that it's €19.99 and is releasing on the 20th of July, so we're basically less than 3 days to wait for that.
2472, 5 nautical miles to your final for runway 24, Naples traffic.
Welcome to all of our new subscribers today. And thank you to everybody who's hit the like button too. Paul dropping a really generous tip earlier on during the flight, and Wesley for your super chat too. Thank you to everybody who's flown along today. Sorry I can't watch all the landings, so I'm going to be late for work otherwise. Make sure you hit like and subscribe down below. And I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching everybody. Enjoy the rest of the weather, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Take care.
Cheers, Luke. Thanks for the stream.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Cheers guys. Yeah, sorry I can't hang around. I'll be late for work else.
Yeah, no problem.
Naples traffic, Osprey 2472 is on extremely short final, runway 24. Naples traffic.
I wish you'd have cut off the stream 5 minutes ago before my landing.
You can blame the Fenix.